All right, all right. Hey everyone, this is Diamond Rivera, and this is a new segment called The Place to Be with Diamond D. And I know everyone, it has been so long since I've done a podcast. Let's just say life has hit dramatically, unexpectedly, but beautifully. And honestly, it feels really good to be back in this space. Feels really good to connect with all of you. For many that I've seen at congresses and festivals, socials. I mean, hey, 2023 literally is almost over. We are literally at the almost the end of the summer. And honestly, guys, just to have the opportunity to bring this platform back means a lot to me. This is really an escape um, from it all, to have the opportunity to connect with you people, to kind of shed light on what's been going on in my life. I think it's really important. And yeah, I mean, before we used to call this the Let's Discuss with Diamond. This was the Live Discussions with Diamond podcast. But yes, now this is called The Place to Be with Diamond D. And before we get started, I really wanted to give some special shout outs to some amazing people. First, I have to give a big shout out to Ace Fusion, Enjoy, Shorty, Sabri, everyone. These two individuals have been so inspiring in my life. And honestly, I could not ask for better people that have entered in my life over this past year, working with the Fusion Experience at their events. Honestly, it's just amazing to have a collective of people that just gather each month, celebrate dance, celebrate life, celebrate inclusivity. And that's something we need, especially in our community. Many people who know we have salsa, bachata events all the time. People know in New York, like, listen, in New York, you can literally find a dance event Monday through Sunday. Even if there were 8 days in a week, you could probably find 8 events every day, morning, noon, and night. But there are not many events that really preach and hone on inclusivity and allowing people from all walks of life to come and enjoy their time with one another. And me being a part of that for almost literally over a year now has been a blessing. Even more of a blessing, I have to give a big shout out to my wife and my son, Catherine and Cameron, who are amazing blessings, who truly inspire me every day to be a better person, to be a better husband, but also to be a better dad. And honestly, with this filming over this past year, it's just blessings. Honestly, over the beginning of the year, I was at the MDN Salsa Congress, hosted by MDN Dance Studio with Marcus Nieves and Diana Osario Nieves, and I honestly had a wonderful time. Listen, for a first time event, and I'm being totally honest with you, I want you to write this down. For a first time festival event, this event ran beautifully. I'm talking about things running on time. I'm talking about shows, I'm talking about workshops, but most of all, the ambiance, the people, the atmosphere was just not so much just infectious, but it was genuine. It was natural. And again, it was great that at a first time festival Congress ran that smoothly and that efficiently. I really had a beautiful time there, and I can't wait to be back. Um, as well, realizing over this past year how many more new events have popped up, especially in New York. I mean, I have to give a big shout out to all of the organizers in New York and the tri state area that are bringing really amazing events that are focused on bringing the community together. And we understand this. Listen, events nowadays, it's not easy, especially when it comes to organizers having events at clubs and lounges. Many dancers don't understand that when an organizer is working with a lounge, a club, the biggest thing is the bar. The bar. And if people don't understand what I mean, the bar is a major reason why either an event succeeds or why an event fails. And many people don't realize is that, hey, at these events that dancers go to, they must love the spaces, but they don't realize, like, hey, I had an amazing time at this event, and 2 months later, it's no longer around. Especially if everything runs smoothly. The music's great, the people are great, just the hospitality, but they don't realize that these places that these organizers rent from, they need to make money. And many people don't realize is that a lot of dancers don't buy drinks. Hey, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of dancers that do, but I know a lot of dancers that don't. I know a lot of people. Hey, I'm not going to name any names, but we've seen them, the ones that put their drinks in their, their pocket, their jacket, their dance bag, along with their dance shoes. Yes. And hey, live your life. But you can't blame the organizer a lot of times when, hey, their event looks like it's running successfully. Hey, but that bar is the most important. And these bars don't want to just give out free water all the time or ice water or cups of ice. It doesn't run like that. And my most important thing really saying that is like, hey, it's 2023. When you got an event out there, support the bar, support the businesses. Don't just worry about the cover charge. Like, hey, you're going to have amazing dancers, dancing with amazing people, but also support the venues. They're helping keeping our culture and this type of environment alive. And I think that's really important. But, especially during this year, I think many people have said, especially over this summer, my big push is hashtag stop janky promoters. And people, you know what I'm talking about. We're really not going to go into grave detail on what specifically I'm talking about, but many people do know. We know in social media, word gets around. We understand that, some events succeed, some events fail, just like I said earlier. But now we have to get into the nitty gritty and understanding that there are people who are organizers and promoters that are doing right by the community, that are doing right by the artists. And then there are those that are truly selfish and don't respect the artistry, don't respect the craft, and don't respect the community. Truly, I think the only thing they respect is the bottom line is money. But what happens when an event doesn't make money, doesn't treat its artists well, and doesn't treat their patrons well? Well, what you have is a unsuccessful event, to say the least. And I'm hoping over time, you future organizers and promoters out there, I'm talking to you. I need you to realize this. Please do your homework, do your research before you want to have an event. Please work with other organizers, ask questions. Also, too, realize this, a small event still costs money. I know people want to cut costs at every corner. Listen, people nowadays have to even choose whether they're going to buy eggs or not. Like, even the price of milk and eggs and the bare necessities to some people, it's like you got to cut costs somehow. But also really to understanding is that in our dance community where money can be scarce, where profits dwindle, where sometimes you're lucky to even break even. We have events like one that I will not name, but that you do know, really swindled the community, really swindled the artist. And I think it's a really, really big lesson learned. And understanding is that a lot of times you can't do things in good faith. We understand we want to see the good in people, but maybe sometimes there isn't the good. Maybe underlining and sometimes just really listening to people. You're going to learn a lot more through listening. Trust me, please take this right now. You are going to learn a lot more through listening than through talking. Point in case. when you're talking to an organizer and they're telling you almost everything that you want to hear, but when you're asking the necessary questions about lodging, about transportation, about food, and all they can do is give you the runaround. When you ask them to send you a deposit, when you ask them, hey, I'm at the event, what's happening, or a few days before the event, and if you really feel that there's something fishy, I tell a lot of people go with your gut sometimes, or most of the time, because your gut is probably telling you the right thing. And honestly, I think we can all say is that, hey, we've made mistakes, but the goal is to understand how we learn from them rather than make the same mistakes again. And honestly, I hope that each and every one of you, as artists, as patrons to events, realize that, hey, things happen, but do your research. Watch where you spend your money. Watch where you, as artists, choose to, connect with certain communities, but connect with certain artists, not just artists, but organizers and promoters. Make sure your bottom line is there. Make sure you're getting the amenities you need, especially those who travel from abroad, as well as local artists, but especially abroad. If you're traveling hundreds and hundreds of miles to an event and you don't even know if you're going to get home, that's a problem. And for me, thankfully, with a situation in the past that I had dealt with, oh, I left truly unscathed. But you know what it is? When people make false allegations and can't prove them, they just look stupid. And hey, lesson learned. You move on. And, hey guys, it's already August. It's crazy. Like, I really feel like this year has moved extremely, extremely fast. And for me, there are definitely some announcements that are upcoming. I can't really give full details, but there definitely is an event that I'm possibly going to, and now really more moving into the role that I really see myself, as well as taking this platform that I have and actually bringing it more and more in public. As people have seen, I've done interviews at events over this past year and through last year, and I really, really, really want to make that more prominent as well. My company, Diamond Rivera Films, also known as DR Films, we are located currently in New York City. We are also located in Dallas and as well in Boston. But really, too, a new venture that me and the company and my members have chosen to do is we are actually not only going to be providing photos and videos, but also I have to give a big shout out to my team in Dallas, the one and only Valentine and Aria. These guys have been powerhouses in Dallas and really showcasing what Dallas has to offer over this past year or two. And now myself, as well as them, will be doing interviews at select events. So as well as giving you some great photos and videos and recaps, we're also going to be connecting with the community more, talking with artists and attendees at these events, and really helping people understand what the feel is like at these events. It's not just about dancing, it's about networking, it's about connecting with the people and the culture. And that right there, I am really, really excited for that. And, honestly, with this new podcast, everything changing, as we call it, the place to be with Diamond D. I will be having artists and artists on this platform, and I really, really am excited for that. But most of all, too, it's really just helping people become a little more educated, becoming a little more aware on my experiences as I travel and go from city to city. um, there's things I learn along the way. There's good practices and bad practices that I see, and I think you, as the audience, should know. I mean, again, everything I say here is coming from my experience, and every guest that I have on, my focus is to help them and help others understand that through life, through time, we grow. Understanding is that from every event that goes on, there's always a success story. There's also some unsuccessful stories, but it's how we learn and how we grow from them. But also, too, realizing like, hey, you're going to be meeting guests here that like they've got some amazing stories. I mean, if people didn't know, when I have my other podcast, the live discussions with Diamond and Let's Discuss, um, we had guests on here that some went to MIT, some are doctors, neurosurgeons, and the list goes on. Like you have people here, people have to realize these artists are not just performers on stages or instructors at studios. These people also have lives outside of that. Some people use the use the understanding of how dance is a part of their life, but it is not their whole life. And that is an important idea to understand. For many, dance is something they enjoy doing. And we also have to understand this over time. I've realized is that, hey, I once was a performer. Transitioning from performing to videotaping or filmmaking has been like life changing for me. But don't get me wrong, I will be back performing. Disclaimer, I will be back. But before I even do that, just being able to film socials and just being able to film dancers from beginners to intermediate to advanced, it's been so gratifying. Like I've been able to film dancers and really showcase their journey from just being the beginner novice that kind of wallflowers on the wall to now they're becoming instructors. Like this is showing their journey. And I'm really, really excited that I have the opportunity to do that. Don't take it for granted. Trust me. And, you know, for me, over time, I'm just grateful that media has such a hold on me. I love it. I love filming. I love networking with people. And, you know, for me now, even doing more and more interviews, whether it's here on this platform or in person, just being able to see an artist and have their stories told, see a smile on their face after they see a video of themselves is really the greatest reward. And, you know, for me, I'm definitely hoping throughout the end of this year, man, it's just going to be bigger and better. And yeah, trust me, I'm going to give you definitely a quick sneak peek into what's happening this year. I'll give you 2 events right now that I'll be going to. There are some more events, but hey, in September, you are going to catch me at the Cleveland Latin Gala Fest. And I am excited to be back in Cleveland. It's been a long time coming. And as well, you know where to catch me in October. The only place I'm going to be in October is at the Dallas Bachata Festival. Yes, I said it, the Dallas Bachata Festival. Papa George in the Dallas community, we are coming back. We're coming back with recaps. We're coming back with photos. We're coming back with social dance clips. And we are coming with interviews and behind the scenes look into what it's like at a Congress festival. Yes, the Dallas Bachata Festival, man, it's been going on so long. Me being a part of it since 2017, it's been a amazing blessing. And I have to give a huge shout out to Papa George Elizondo. This man has been so inspirational into my film career, and I owe him the world. And I definitely can't wait to be back in October. And everyone, hey, this is just a quick sneak peek into what's happening with me. Hey, this is the place to be with Diamond D. I'll see you soon, guys. Can't wait to see you all. Wait till you see the next guest. Peace.